Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Josiah Crow here, back with another video. This is Lifeguard Q&A Part 2. And that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I have more questions. I actually have 16 questions here. The first question is, how do you actually take gloves off properly? Like, is there a specific way? There is. So, some people think you just take it from here and pull up. You're wrong. You actually pinch, like right here, and then pull, go like that. So, like that. Then you want to, oops. Guys, I did that on purpose. It didn't do it with that side, so I had to do it with this side. I'll show you how to really do it properly. Let me put them on. It's whatever. You'll get a general idea. But, yeah, like I said, I always tell people know their glove size. So you really are supposed to pinch here, pull, then take it, put it in this hand, then take your two fingers, put it under, and pull up. And then put this in a red biohazard bag. Next question I have here is, what inspired you to become a lifeguard? Great question. So I have two different actual reasons. So I'm not going to say any details. You'll know what I mean. But I have the real reason is why I'm a lifeguard is because I have a teacher / had a teacher, Mr. Haynes. I'm not gonna get into details on like where at and stuff, so for privacy reasons and all that. But I have a class with him / had because it's the end of school now. And you know, he is the head swim coach for said school. I know I didn't say it, but just for a school, right? And I asked him because he's the head swim coach, and I'm like, hey, I want to be a lifeguard. How do I go about being a lifeguard? Which then he asked the head lifeguard that, you know, I'm interested in stuff. And then I got the head lifeguard's phone number, and then I texted her and all that. And then I had to get lifeguard certified and all that. So really what inspired me was Mr. Haynes. But not only that, was back in the day, I always used to go to this pool, friend's pool, well, my mom's friend's pool, but and you know, we always used to hang out and swim, and I always was like, hey, you know, I have this pool noodle, you know, I'm gonna put it around my waist, and all of a sudden I'm a lifeguard and stuff. So I really like pretending to be a lifeguard and all that. So then I'm like, not only did Mr. Haynes inspire me, but that really inspired me too, because I always remembered that I really want to be a lifeguard and pretending like I was. And then, you know, I was like, let's make that a reality. You know, I'm old enough and all that. So, next question here. How do you stay calm in high pressure situations? So you gotta train for that, you know. I've been in a lot of high pressure situations, so you have to train for it. You just have to live it, right? Know what you're doing is basically, just know what you're doing. I know a lot of stuff, like when you're in high pressure and when stuff is going on, to, you know, everything in your head just goes out the window, so you're like, oh, what do I do? But stay calm. Just know what you're doing. Um, Next question. What's the most challenging thing you've ever had to deal with? The most challenging thing I've ever had to deal with would probably be, it's not the most difficult or challenging, but if we're talking about being a lifeguard on stand, it would be people who are trying to be funny but really aren't funny. So like distracting you. That's a big challenge. You got to learn. Don't distract lifeguards. Just don't do it. It's not good. We're taking time to watch the waters, but instead we have to talk to you. No, they actually teach you. If you're getting distracted, don't even pay attention. So that would probably be the distractions is definitely the most challenging. Next question. Oh God, how do you keep up with your physical fitness for the job? I don't. But at the same time, I do because I'm doing all this stuff at the fire department and all that. But you don't have to be physical. You don't have to be big and strong, You don't have to be Baywatch style, Number 6, sorry. Can you walk us through a typical day on duty? Yeah, so for me, I basically, after school, I would go down to the pool, open it, do all that stuff, and then I would go get, my uniform on and all that, and then I'd head back down to the pool, go to the lifeguard office, put all my stuff up in the lifeguard office, and then I go to the chair, lifeguard chair. Well, first I check all the equipment, and then when I know that all the equipment is good, in orders, protocol, and all that. Then I go to the stand, get on the stand, sit on the stand, and usually just sit there. Sometimes people will come up to you, ask for Band-Aids, and some days are just quiet days. And sometimes there's not quiet days. Sometimes you're getting injuries and stuff. But yeah, that's usually a typical day. Just sit there. Huh. What's your biggest piece of advice for new lifeguards? So if I'm kind of new myself, not gonna lie, because, I haven't even been one for a year yet, but if, somebody wanted to become a lifeguard and is a lifeguard and they're coming to me for help, the advice that I'd give them is know your limits. So know your body's limits. So like if you're pushing yourself too hard, know that, and just know your limits. That's it. Just really know your limits. How do you handle conflict or tough conversations with people? We don't do conversations. I'm just joking. So when you're on break, then you can have your conversations. Not when you're on stand, but when you're on break, then you can have your conversations. Tough conversations? No, you don't get those sometimes. But anyways, I've never had a tough conversation, so I really don't know how to answer your question. Let's see. Scroll to the next page. Okay, what training do you go through regularly to stay sharp? Know your tools. Know what everything is used for. Know how to use it. Just know what they are. Know how to use it. Know CPR. Remember the compressions and the depths and all that in your head. Just remember what to do when, you see somebody passed out or something like that. Just Um, just know your stuff. Um, yeah. But the training part of it would be, doing first aid on a mannequin or a person who is willing to be a victim for you, you know. But yeah, just train, act like, they're passed out. You come across them passed out, train with them, and all that stuff. Oh, great question. How do you balance being approachable with staying vigilant? Well, the word vigilant, I'm going to replace that word. So basically, I'm going to rephrase your question to how you asked me. But I just wrote it like that. But your question really was, how do you be approachable, but also, mean, you know? And that's really this word that I always like to talk about. It's called hospitality. So be nice to people, be nice, but also enforce the rules. But you can be nice while doing that, You can be like, hey, could you not do that, please? You're putting other people's lives at risk and your life at risk. And I don't want nobody getting hurt or nothing like that. So yeah, just really be nice, but also enforce the rules. What's the best part of being a lifeguard? Getting to know new people and getting to be your people's or swimmers' favorite lifeguard. Like, I get people all the time that come up to me and be like, how's my favorite lifeguard doing? And I'm like, good, and all that kind of stuff. So, that just really lightens your day and lightens your mood. So, that's really the best part, the other swimmers and the other lifeguards and the coaches and all that, just being friends with them, just having conversations with them and, getting to know you and them. What do you do if you see someone struggling but you're not in the water yet? Okay, you're never going to be in the water unless somebody is drowning or struggling. But if you see somebody struggling, help them out, jump in, Like I said in my last video, or what, I don't even know if it was my last video, but there's a difference between drowning swimmers and distressed swimmers. Distressed swimmers are struggling in the water. They're tired and all that. So, help them out, help them get to the other side. So, I hope that answered your question. How do you handle weather challenges or unexpected conditions? Right. So, this is something called the lightning rule. And there's also a tornado rule. So the lightning rule is if you see lightning, close the pool down for 20 to 30 minutes after the last lightning strike. So after you see your last lightning strike, just always reset the timer. And then the tornado rule is, if everybody's phone's going off and it says tornado warning, make sure you get everybody out, get them to locker areas, changing bays away from doors and windows and all that. And yeah. Okay, so this question. Have you ever had to use an AED? And what was that experience like? So, yes, I've had to use an AED. I'm not allowed to go into details, though, because I don't know if the family, would look down upon me for saying this publicly. So I'm not going to go into details. But yes, I've had to use an AED. What's something you wish people more... No, hold on. What's something you wish more people knew about lifeguarding? That, we're just there to watch your water, We're just there, If you have any questions, you can come to us and we'll answer them for you the best you can. But really, the people that I really want to know is they're approachable. they're not like mean. They're not trying to ruin your day. They're trying to actually be nice and but also enforce the rules. Um, because there also has to be limits. You know, you can't just let anybody do whatever they want. So there's limits and boundaries, but I really wish people knew that. Um, you know, lifeguards are approachable, nice, and you know, if you have any questions, just talk to them. If you need somebody to talk to, you know, you can talk to them. You know, they're probably bored out of their minds too, just sitting there. So, but make sure that they aren't on duty first. If you're gonna go talk to them, make sure they're on their break. Last question: how do you keep your teammates strong with each other and other guards on your crew? So, becoming friends, really. Um, really having a strong team is having a strong friendship. So if you, sorry about that, if you have a bad relationship with a lifeguard or another fellow member, let somebody know. Be like, hey, can I work this day instead of this day because this person works on my day and I don't really um, perceive to like them, and we always get in trouble and whatnot. So just let somebody know, and but really keeping a good team is also keeping a good friendship. So be friends with people, make new friends. Like I said with the other stuff, and that's basically, just be friends. That's the best that I can say. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Shout out Mr. Haynes. Thank you for being an awesome teacher. Yeah, that's really it for me. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to contact me. I'll give you my business email, which is, if you want to contact me through business email, it is going to be Josiah's business email, I believe. If it's not, I'll put it in the description. But I believe that's what it is. But just, if you have any questions, look in the description. There's my business email there, and you can send me questions. And and then I'll answer your question. Or, if you say, hey, answer this question on video, and then I'll answer it on video. I'll respond back, got it, I'll answer this on video. Or, if you don't want to answer it on video, and you just wanted it answered now, you can just say, you can answer this, whenever. I don't want this on video or whatever, you don't have to put this on video. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching.